That was the worst probably month of my refereeing life. Instead of me keeping it closed, I've slightly opened it. And as I've slightly opened it, it just flung open and there was Mikel swinging punches. That was the worst probably month of my refereeing life. Because it was like the pressure of the media. Thank God, you know, I was properly investigated. The FA came up with a decision after all the evidence was presented that I hadn't said anything. If that happened in a grassroots game, that player probably wouldn't be allowed to play football again. The FA charged him with 3 matches. A 3-match suspension for that didn't seem to meet the crime. I had to work out, did I want to be a martyr and take on a big club of Chelsea in the Premier League? And in the end, I had to go back to work. Everybody believed that I was guilty. I think that's one thing that we probably as English people we automatically think that they're guilty before they're innocent. There was a phone call made. Sir Alex Ferguson, he wanted to see how I was because he knew the pressure would have been huge. And B, he offered his support publicly that he didn't believe I'd done it. John Terry, Frank Lampard, the senior players at Chelsea, came up to us during the game, shook my hand and said no hard feelings, which I have respected massively. I only ever refereed Mikel one more time in his career. I wouldn't shake his hand in the handshakes before the game. If I'm honest, as a human being, I found it difficult. When you find out it wasn't Mikel that had heard it, it was Ramirez, and he couldn't speak English. That's what leaves, I think, bitter taste in most people's mouths, how that could have been allowed to develop. There's got to be protection for all parties. But when Chelsea decided to make a statement minutes after the game on the back of Mikel assault, it just didn't feel right. First thing I knew about I was being accused of being a racist was probably an hour after the game when I was going through Heathrow. I got a notification from Sky Sports News, and it's a story that we had.